What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another quick episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. Tonight it is December 26th. I'm going to go over the waiver wire ads that you should be snagging in fantasy basketball for the week and maybe for the rest of the season. I'm using ESPN. We'll look at some of these guys in a second. I just want to, again, I like to show everybody hashtag basketball. They have a fantastic, it's their advanced NBA schedule grid. I'm on week 11 right here. And essentially, you can just see how many games each team plays, when they play, and it's just a good way to kind of figure out which teams to avoid, which teams to add. It looks like the majority of teams, about half the teams, play 4 games this week, so those are the teams you kind of want to target to pick up extra games for the week. Otherwise, the Trailblazers only play 2. That's not ideal, and then a good maybe about half of them playing 3. So check out hashtag basketball. That's just a good way to find out which teams we should be avoiding or things like that. So hashtag basketball. Again, if you just go to their website, you click on, schedule, advanced schedule grid. It's right there on the top. So let's get right into it. I'm going to show you guys how I filter and I look for my players. First thing I'm going to do is I'm on the players tab. I filtered by all players because some players might be available in your league. If not, 10 team, 8-man, 12 teams, all these different league sizes. So I'm just going to tap the plus minus button and let's see who rises to the top. And here, the first guy on the list, Thomas Bryant, the center for the Lakers. He's about 18% owned, and I'm actually going to add another filter here. I'm going to hit last 7 days. That's going to show me how many points per game these guys are averaging over the last 7 days. So hopefully we can find some good finds here. Thomas Bryant, again, averaging 24.4 over the last 7 days. His minutes are up. It looks to be, with Anthony Davis missing time here, this looks to be a pretty nice ad. He's been balling out at a good level here since about December 16th. So if you need center help here, he's kind of a 3 to 4 category player. Points and rebounds are his specialty, but he does chip in assists and steals, an occasional block or two. So we like Thomas Bryant there. Next man up is going to be Markelle Fultz. He is 21.4% rostered. A lot of people adding him lately. Over the last 7 days, though, he's averaging 32.8 points per game. So he's been on a tear here. He's had some big games, a 45-point game, a 52-point game. He's a 4-category player most nights, and he does have the ability to get some blocks and make it 5 categories. So he's going to help you out in the points, rebounds, assists, and the steals. He's a heavy steals guy, so I love to see that. He averages 1.5 steals per game on the season. So if you need point guard help, Markelle Fultz looking pretty good here. Up next here, we have kind of veteran point guard, shooting guard, scoring guard here, D'Anthony Melton. He's about 47% rostered, so he's probably not available in most leagues here. But we do want to shout out that he's been playing a ton of minutes pretty much all season. Like his season stats, he's averaging 30 minutes per game, 12 points, almost 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. So he's a 4-category player here, averaging 28 points per game on the year. So D'Anthony Melton needs to be rostered. Up next is Moritz Wagner for the Orlando Magic. Now, he had been getting some run because Wendell Carter Jr. has been missing some time here, but Wendell Carter's back, and he still played decently last night here. So on the season, averaging 26 points per game, only 12% rostered. Over his last 7 games, though, he's averaging 31.9 points per game. So again, he had been a pretty good starter for a stretch of things here, but I believe Wendell Carter came back last night. I just want to see how many minutes Wendell played. In terms of starting, they still started Wagner here, but Wendell Carter did play 19 minutes. Mo Bamba did play 19 minutes as well. So there's going to kind of be a 3-man rotation there. But even with just 26 minutes, Wagner was pretty productive. And he does catch, 4 categories here, sometimes 5 categories on a given night. So we like Wagner. Bruce Brown coming in here at 28.4% owned, averaging 24 points per game. His season's been pretty good so far too, averaging about 25 points per game on the year. And actually his scoring is down. He's averaging about the same amount of minutes, which is 30 per game, but he's down about a point over the last 7 games, down a rebound, down an assist, steals and blocks are still there. So he is a 4 to 5 category a night player if you play in categories. And he's just like, especially like in a 12-man league, like this is the guy you want to have at the end of your bench because he is productive, playing well for the Nuggets. So check out Bruce Brown. Jalen Duren coming in for the Detroit Pistons. Now, this is a guy who has been pretty steady over the last handful of weeks here. He's actually 15.2% rostered, averaging almost 22 points per game on the year, and he's seeing a spike in minutes of late here. I'm not sure what this corresponds to, but this is a player that has an opportunity to continue playing well. You can see about 28, 24, 36, 30, 39. The minutes are up. He's a double-double type of player most nights here, and he's going to chip in a couple assists, maybe get some steals and some blocks. So if you need a big man, get the guy from the Pistons here, Jalen Duren. Gordon Hayward should have been picked up already. He's 56% rostered, averaging 25 points per game since he returned. So I like that a lot. I don't know why Mason Plumlee is so low owned. He's only 34.3% rostered, averaging 29 points per game on the year. Just a really solid player here. I know the Hornets are not playing great ball. But this is a guy here who can flirt with a double-double most nights. He's going to get blocks. He's going to get steals and assists. He's a true fortified category player. So make sure Mason Plumlee's not hanging around. Michael Porter Jr. returned, but he's high owned. So is Mitchell Robinson, Aaron Gordon, Bogdanovich. Let's talk about Quentin Grimes here. Shooting guard for the Knicks. Now he's going to be up and down because that's kind of just the nature of the shooting guard position. But overall, I guess if you look at his season stats, 26 minutes per game. His last 7 days, he's up to 35.7. So his points are up about 4 points per game. Rebounds down 1. His assists are almost doubled here, and he's going to chip in steals and blocks every now and then. So he's a good category player. But you gotta roll with the punches with him. He's going to have high point nights. He's going to have low point nights. But he does traditionally, fill out the rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks fairly well each night. So if you need someone in 12-man leagues, Quentin Grimes can be a pretty sneaky ad. Let's look at Jeremy. I don't know if it's Sokin or Sokin here. 3.7% rostered for the Spurs, averaging 19.6 points per game on the year. And he's been popping off the last few games here, the last 3 games really, 26 minutes, 31 and 23. So you like to see that. The points are there though, 13, 23, and 12. And then look at the production in the rebounds and the assists. I like that. If he can kind of maintain this is looking pretty good. But again, over the last 7 days, I mean, his points have doubled, his rebounds have doubled, assists have doubled. This could be something nice going forward for the Spurs. So that's just one way that I like to look at the plus minuses situations here. Now, there's another way that I like to filter things, and that's especially if you have IR spots. I always love to filter by IR eligible, and I just want to see who's moving up the boards here. So it looks like Herbert Jones, he's up 2.5%. Looks like he's down to about 29.7% rostered. So I'm not sure what's up with that. He's got COVID protocols here. So if you can snag someone, go ahead and look for Herbert Jones. Again, 29% rostered, but he's averaging 22.5 points per game on the year. And he had been playing well here before being ruled out with the COVID. And I know he missed some time with an injury here, but he is going to be back and fine. So if you can stash Herbert Jones, please do so. Landry Shamet is out. Let me see here. He had been playing really out. He's got ruled out with a right Achilles soreness. But if you can snag him, he's been playing really, really well. You see his minutes are up, scoring his way up, 31 points. Not a great category player. He's more of a points guy. But with the injury to Devin Booker, who's got the groin issue, there's potential here for Shamet to continue to play well. Not sure what's up with Kawhi Leonard, but he's 95% rostered. The guy I put on the cover is going to be Cameron Johnson here. Now, I've been reading his reports. This one's from December 18th. It says he's looked good. I've checked on him in the weight room, and there's still, things to do there, but he's coming out shooting. So he's back, hanging out with the team, doing some things. Maybe we see him after the new year. This is a really good player. He had been averaging 24.1 points per game before his injury, and only 9% rostered. So if you have an IR stash spot, go stash Cameron Johnson. I don't know about Chet Holmgren. He's not playing this year. What's up with Tyrese Maxey? He should be rostered. But otherwise, again, that's just one way that I like to look for guys that are on IR that are coming back, because you can kind of see a trend here. Excuse me. Excuse me. But we'll go back, and I just want to do one more little search for some players that we could potentially find. Again, I love the plus minus tool that helps filter a lot of things out for me. But my last, I guess I'm gonna go to the last 15 games or 15 days. I'm gonna hit average. And then basically what I'm going to do is, because this is with everybody in the pool, so I know all these guys are probably rostered, but since we're filtering it by the most points per game, I'm going to look at this percent rostered column, and it's going to continue to go down until I see something that sticks out. So everything's like 100% and 99% rostered, but we'll eventually hit something that is worth talking about here. So Aaron Gordon, the first guy to kind of stick out at 75% rostered. He's more for shallow leagues. If you can find him, go ahead and do it. Nick Claxton playing pretty well, 78.6% rostered. That first page, though, nothing really sticking out there. Let me continue to find one. So Mason Plumlee, he was the guy that we talked about already here. He's only 34% rostered, but he's averaging just as many points as a guy like Jaren Jackson over the last 15 days. So Mason Plumlee needs to be on top of your radar here. Onyeka Okongwu, averaging 31 points per game over the last 15 days, 10% rostered. So here's a player that probably needs to be picked up in deeper leagues. Averaging 22.1 points per game on the year. But again, the last 15 games or 15 days, 31 points. So looks like he had a spike game here against the Bulls. But for the most part, settling in really nicely, high floors. I like Okongwu quite a bit. So again, only 11% rostered. There's Jalen Duren, who we covered before. Walker Kessler, and we covered Markelle Fultz already, but Walker Kessler, let's talk about him, the kind of the backup center out of Utah. Not sure what's up with Kelly Olynyk, but it looks like his injuries opened up the door here. And Kessler, for really the last month or so, he's probably in a 12-man roster 12-man league. This is a guy that's totally worth putting on the end of your bench. He's a center here that's getting 32, 27, 25 minutes the last 3 games, flirting with double-doubles, not so much in the assists, but he does get an occasional assist, steal, and looks like blocks. If you need blocks, that's your guy. So points, rebounds, blocks for Walker Kessler. And that, again, this is just another way that I like to filter things. Dante DiVincenzo, only 9% rostered, but he's averaging 29 points per game. Last 15 days, just another player there. But that's gonna do it. We already kind of covered most of these guys here, but I'm gonna continue to do the weekly waiver wire show. So check back with us next weekend to see who I might be able to find for you guys. But that's it. Like the channel, subscribe if you are new, and yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in a future video. Peace.